Welcome to another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmett. This is part 3 of a movie decoding. The movie decoding is called Conan the Barbarian. In segment 1, I showed you the video clip without saying much. In segment 2, I was rambling a lot. And I had a second audio that I separated. So then I forgot to put it in there. So now I just made it into part 3 where I'm just going to get to the point because I typed it up. So now I will summarize the points of the video clip. I will say the occult meaning, the symbolic meaning, the spiritual meaning, the melanin meaning. So here we go. Point 1. James Earl Jones is a wizard. Okay? We're talking about the actor. Okay, I'm just calling him by his name. Wizard means wise. His icon is a snake, meaning his symbol, his avatar, what represents him is a snake. According to Bobby Hemmett's research, the snake, anytime you see a snake, it is symbolic of Kundalini people, Kundalini energy, and it is a description, okay? It's a metaphor for your backbone, because your spine is it's similarly constructed. There was a mosquito, excuse me. The construction is similar to a snake. Because of the way it's connected, right? And the way that it's able to bend and move. So, another point for you to add on the evidence is that from your pineal gland, your spinal cord, that main cord that goes down the spine, is the one that is carrying the melanin through the rest of the body. Okay, so let's put a period on that. Point 2. Conan was a slave. Okay, in the story, Conan was a slave. Now, reflect on yourself. Who or what people are always said to be slaves? Black people, everywhere in every country, but especially the New Egypt, America, where this knowledge, this is the only place that black people could ever know this knowledge. And that's why you're getting hell upon hell upon hell to this very day. And that is why your image must always be put down, degraded, and in debauchery, and belittled and debased all over the world. Let's put a period on that. Point 3. James Earl Jones is the villain. Who is the real villain of the world? The beast. So, do you see how they flip that role? That's one of their techniques in the movies. Good is bad, bad is good. The black man plays the bad guy. The white man plays the good guy. That is the representation in this movie. It does not apply to every movie, but the point is being made in this movie. However, the truth, the bad guy is representing, the black guy is representing a bad guy, but he's representing truth as a black wizard, as a snake person, as someone with Kundalini energy. Put a period on that. The wizard, point 4, the wizard says, and this is the ultimate point of the whole thing. This is the thing that got me. The wizard says, flesh is stronger than the sword. Let me repeat that. Flesh is stronger than the sword. Now, when I heard him say this, because of Bobby Hemmett, and because of another sci-fi that I watched, I knew exactly what it was saying. Exactly. No one would ever, ever, ever know what that's saying. So let me keep in my calm mode and just read what I wrote. The metaphysics and symbology is this. Okay? I'm going to do a lot of explaining, even though I understand it very quickly. Just, you know what? The short end of it is that the sword represents your ancestors. That is the short of it. The sword represents your ancestors, but your flesh, and because you are flesh, you are able to use the sword. Your ancestors are in a spirit form. They're not in the material form anymore. Let's put a period on that. I don't want to over-explain it. You will get the point if it's meant for you. Okay, the next point. The metaphysics, the metaphysics and symbology is this. The sword is metal. Metal is a composite of elements. Now I will quote for you the research and definition of steel. Steel is an alloy of iron and carbon, containing less than 2% carbon and 1% manganese, and small amounts of silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, and oxygen. Steel is the world's most important engineering and construction material. So what is the point of that? It is detailing and telling you what elements are inside of steel. So now, therefore, the sword represents a few things. One of them is alchemy. Another one is your melanin. And those two things are descriptively synonymous. When you say alchemy, it's really probably alchemy, God, Kim is mixture. You're talking about chemistry. Okay, so I'm going to pause right there and I'm going to read exactly what I wrote. Therefore, the sword represents a few things. Number one, alchemy. Alchemy is the mixture of anything into something new. So they changed that word to chemistry. Before it used to be called alchemy. And that is like related to magic. You know, that is a word that was used along with the word magic. But now in order to dupe the people, fool the people, and keep them ignorant, you always have to change words, change words, change words. So alchemy got changed to chemistry. But the root of it is Kemet, as in the kingdoms of Africa. Okay, before it was called Africa. Number two, your melanin has all elements in it. All that are in the periodic chart and beyond into the cosmos are inside of black people. So let me pause again. Yeah, I don't need to pause again. Let me just scroll down. Okay, number 3. Melanin is produced by the pineal gland, which is the third eye, which is called the seat of the soul, which stores all knowledge, and it is in your blood, and all of your forefathers and foremothers constitute your blood. Therefore, their energy, by the principles of energy cannot be destroyed, right? Therefore, their energy is in you, and their knowledge is in you on an energetic level. Now, I am going to ad-lib something because I just thought of something to give you a further explanation of this. Do you realize how much music can be put on a little USB? And I'm just going to say USB. We could get smaller than that, but do you realize how much information can be put on a microchip? The same principles apply to you. However, you are cosmically connected. You're always connected. So your knowledge is infinite. You can go back to the beginning of time and remember something. It's infinite. But what is the point here? The point is that you are connected to the knowledge of your ancestors. Just like an animal instinctually knows what to do, doesn't need to be taught, you know what to do. However, you have lost that knowledge due to just being in the matrix and being beat down. All right, so let's get back to this. I'm going to reread that. Okay, so all knowledge is stored in your blood, and all your forefathers and foremothers constitute your blood. Therefore, Their energy is in you and their knowledge is in you on a DNA level. So, the sword, okay, another point, I might as well just say point 4 about the sword. The sword is also that power of knowledge. And it can be released by your WORDS, by your words. The words coming out of my mouth have power. Scramble the word sword, SWORD, and you will get WORDS. So, descriptively and metaphysically, your words have power because they're energy. Thoughts are things. Okay, that if you study the law of attraction, you will understand that concept if you can grasp it and get on that level. You really need to get on the level of the law of attraction because the beast, your average beast, okay, your next door neighbor beast is using this. So now let's get back to this. Now back to the villain. The villain beckons a girl to come. The girl does not question. The girl does his bidding. The girl looks like an angel. That is the point. The angels are your ancestors. And they will do your bidding if you acknowledge them and ask them. End of story. Well, not really end of story. I have to still explain something, okay? And I'm trying to be calm. No, actually, let me finish. Let me finish reading because I did say everything in an organized way. So let me continue. Ancestors will do your bidding if you acknowledge them and ask them. Period. Acknowledge them and ask them. It's that simple. You have legions and legions and legions of ancestral energy ready and waiting for you to wake up. And know that you are the sleeping Buddha. You are the golden child. You are the Messiah. You are the Luke Skywalker. You are the princess. You are the ninja. You are the master. You are the guardian of the universe. You are Neo. You are the master of the universe. You are the Alpha and Omega. And that ends another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmitt. The information shared with you comes from the basis of Bobby Hemmitt's occult research and only from that source of information and from that path of teaching and from that person did I learn, understand, and understand his information based on white scholarship. However, Bobby Hemmett is a chosen one because the beast never openly tells you anything. What Bobby read and discovered was just as mixed up, twisted, reversed, covered up, just as much as these movies, the writing that he understood was written in that way. It was written in that way, most of it. So it was still hidden. However, he was on such a journey, and he was on such a drive. He was very driven in his spirit to figure this stuff out, that the ancestors gave him the knowledge to understand it. Now, and there is one book, I think it's see, I'm not up to the level to remember names of books like he can. But anyway, there's one guy. I'll research him so I can remember his name always. He did say direct things in his books. He said direct things about the Egyptians, which are obviously black people. Black people, I mean, I don't need to convince you about that. Black people, it's only a certain kind of black people. Black people are associated with wearing braids. Their braids are the quintessential essence of a black person, a quote-unquote black person, because their hair is the one that's chaotic, that does that, and to tame it or whatever, you make braids. It's the number one style of black people. It is their natural style to have braids. And the braids represent the spiral of the DNA. I learned that from Bobby Hemmett. So we're going to put a period on that. We're going to put a cap on that. And we're going to let that simmer in your brain, okay? Going to let whatever has been said to you, we're going to let it simmer. And, I took the time now to write everything out and say it quickly. And that ends another episode of what I learned from Bobby Hemmett.